Nvidia isn't dropping their prices. In fact, they are raising their prices by 10 to 15%. If you're not familiar with everything that is currently happening, Nvidia has been raising their prices due to the issues that are ongoing with the tariffs. So unfortunately, they are planning to spread their production over to not just from China, but also over to the US. And what does that mean for us? That they're going to hold these 10 to 15% price increases. In fact, all the retailers that are selling the RTX 5090s, you're probably not finding them for $2,000. In fact, you're probably finding them for more, about $3,000 or more. And that's going to have to be the new price, unfortunately. Nvidia is not losing any of their profit margins by any means, so expect to pay up for Nvidia prices. With Nvidia's RTX 50 series chaotic launch, the price increases have been proven, because in Taiwan, the price increase has been as high as 10 to 15% for Blackwell GPUs. There is good news for everybody out there who currently does have the Nvidia card. Maybe you already have the Nvidia 50 series. Nvidia has officially released out a driver, 57640. This driver was originally created to have more stability when you're playing games such as Doom Dark Ages. You can be certain that there are some bugs that's fixed, such as the Monster Hunter's spontaneous crash. That is done and over with. Dead Space Remake, those crashes are finally done and over with. But you're ready for the open issues that are currently going on with 57640. There's still some issues with light sources with Ghost of Tsushima. There's also problems when it comes to path tracing when you do take screenshots in Cyberpunk 2077, so that still has not been fixed yet. If you're playing F1 2023 or F1 24, they also have crashes. Forza 5, if you're playing it long enough, you might crash the driver, not the car. EA Sports FC 25 also may have some crashing. Dragon's Dogma 2 may also have some display issues, and there may be also issues when you're playing on the PG32 WCDM and other ASUS monitors that are 4K, as you may have some weird light source flickering. And the same goes for LG displays as well, as you may have some blacking out. Overall, the most disappointing aspect of this driver is if you are using frame generation and VSync at the same time, and you are using the 50 series, you are more likely to crash if you have the Nvidia app open in any game that you play. 57640 isn't the driver that you're looking for. But if you're trying to play Doom Dark Ages, you might just download it for that, then you might have to roll back your driver back to 572 once more again. Do have some very interesting news that is coming out. Vulkan has been added to Nvidia's Smooth Motion, which is the competitor of AMD's AFMF, which is their Fluid Motion. But even though that there are games that don't really use Vulkan as much, you might see a few. Most games are currently using either DirectX 11 or DirectX 12. But more interestingly enough, Nvidia is not done here. They also have something in the works with MediaTek. In fact, it's going to show a lot more in Computex because they have been working together on a CPU. That's right, an Nvidia MediaTek CPU. It's not going to have up to 20 cores, unfortunately. It's going to be more to the 12 to 16 core side, but it is a ARM processor. So it's supposed to compete more with the likes of, say, the M1. This could bring a possibility of a gaming APU, which would be awesome if they actually did come out with it. Hopefully, Nvidia does come out with a decent APU, but let's just hope they don't charge another arm and a leg for it. Since ASUS ROG Ally 2 has leaked out, MSI has also brought out some really interesting information. They are also coming out with another iteration of MSI Claw, and it is rumored that they will also be using the Z2 Extreme. Well, let's hope that they do use the Z2 Extreme, because that would be more smart of them to do that instead of using Intel once more, because we've seen where that went. Maxon has accidentally teased Intel's video card, and that's the B580. The B580 is supposed to have 24 gigabytes of DDR6 VRAM, so it's going to have quite the capacity in there. I know some people out there might be complaining, well, it's Intel the GPU, who really cares? Well, you should care, because that should add more competition to the mix, especially against AMD's Radeon and especially against Nvidia's RTX 50 series. But Chris Mizo, that really can't compete with Nvidia's card. You might be right. It can certainly add to the competition, especially when it comes to affordability. But I would love for Intel's card to come out, but it seems that they are hinting on it, and more than likely we can expect a lot more of it from Computex. AMD, there hasn't been a lot of word for it. All we know currently is that AMD is not going to change their price. They are locked on the price for at least a month and a half more. Maybe it'll change earlier, and let's hope that it does, because then it could be more competitive. And also, one thing I may add is that the RTX 5060 and the RTX 5060 Ti, we have a decent idea of what the pricing could be. It seems like it's more of the range around $380 to $400, a little bit over $400 for a RTX 5060 Ti. But for AMD's RX 9060 XT, it can range from $425 to $450 USD. So they're both nearly neck and neck, but are they really truly competitive to each other? I hope you found this content very useful. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you know anybody else who is into PCs and tech, make sure you share this video with them. And also, if you're not part of the big, wonderful fan band, make sure you go down and hit the subscribe button for more. And don't forget to hit the notification bell. Also, make sure you join the free Discord server where we talk about PC and tech. We give out PC tips, and we also like to show off benchmarks in our PC builds. And more importantly, if you are looking for a pre-built PC, if you are within the US, make sure you check out chrismizo.com on Mizo Builds. There is free shipping. Make sure you check it out on chrismizo.com. Down in the description box down below is where all the information is at. Thank you guys again so much for watching. This is Chris Mizo, signing out.